Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Zahn Academy. Today, I have Mo Albana here with me. Mo is a CDT TE and a product specialist and technical trainer for AG. He's also a certified AG instructor. And today, Mo will be discussing A to Z milling solutions to master the digital dental transformation. Just want to let you all know that we will be having some poll questions. I'm going to launch some pretty soon into Mo's presentation, and we would love it if you'd be interactive with us. Mo really looks forward to seeing what your responses would be to those questions, and we will be doing a Q&A at the very end. So please type your questions into Mo at the bottom of your screen, and we'll get that to you and the answers to you right after we're done with the presentation. So I'm going to turn this over to Mo, and everybody enjoy.
Thank you very much, Fran. I appreciate it. It's a pleasure for me to be here. And good afternoon for everybody. We're going to be talking about basically the entire CAD-CAM workflow and all its components. Before I start on that, very briefly, I'd like to introduce who Aman Girrbach is for those that are not familiar with the company. Herbert Girrbach started Girrbach Dental in 1936, and then Dietmar Amann started Amann Dental in 1972. And then in 78, they started to collaborate together. They started to work together, but they have not officially merged at the time. Also in 78, that was the year the Artex line was born, and it has been evolving ever since. In my opinion, as a lab tech, the Artex is the best money can buy. It's a phenomenal articulator, and it has, in my opinion as well, the best accuracy, best capability in the market. In 2004 is when the actual merge took place between Amann Dental and Girrbach Dental, and that's the year that it became the Amann Girrbach that everybody's aware of or know of. And in 2007, the North America region got established, and it started in Tampa, Florida. 2009 is when it moved to Charlotte, North Carolina, and it's been there ever since. This is an overview picture of our state-of-the-art that we just basically opened recently. As a matter of fact, about a month ago, there was the grand opening for it. It's pretty massive and pretty sophisticated and pretty state-of-the-art. So in a nutshell, that's who Aman Girrbach is. So we're not new in the market. We've been in the dental field ever since day one. We started the CAD-CAM process many years ago. And most people know us for our CAD-CAM system, but this is not the only thing we manufacture and educate on. So we're going to start with the milling, as it is the biggest aspect of CAD-CAM. Our main line of mills are the Motion 2, Motion 3, Madic. Motion 2 come in wet and dry, and so does the Motion 3, and so does the Matron as well, which we're going to talk about here in a sec. The Madic is pretty much the only mill that it almost has to be wet and dry combined. You cannot separate them. And the DRS, which we're also going to be talking about here in a little bit, also the mill that is only wet, but pretty much Motion 2, Motion 3, and Matron can go either way. Every mill we have is a 5-axis mill, except for the DRS. That's the only one that is a 4-axis. The Matron is basically the first 5th generation milling machine in our lineup. We started with the Motion. This was about the 2011-2012 era. And then the Motion 2 came shortly after, and it has evolved and kind of changed cosmetically a little bit over the years, but it is and has been our bread and butter for a long time, up till about the time we launched the Motion 3. We're going to talk about each one of those mills in a little bit more specifics to give you just a quick overview idea of what's what. And this is the Motion DRS. It's a 4-axis mill, width only. It's our chairside unit, and it has a lot of precision and a lot of accuracy for its size. I'm going to start with the Matron because it's the newest and it's the hottest thing in the market today. This is the Matron. It's actually the first mill that we launched with different color. Actually, the second mill, the DRS was white, and then the Matron is white. Every other mill we have is black. So the 5 main reasons on why everybody needs a Matron, I'm going to start from the right to left because that's how I think the importance of these things. The power of the Matron, the precision of the Matron, the simplicity of the Matron, the automation, and the interactiveness. We're going to discuss each one of those in slight details to kind of give you an idea on the capability and why the Matron is unique over other mills. The VMAX arm with a 45-degree on the A and B axis actually maximizes the rigidity of the milling process, maximizes the precision, and it produces way less vibration. All that combined gives you the ultimate stability with maximum degree of freedom on the milling process. Then we have also the C-clamp combined with the position of the holder, which both of them together enables the control of extreme angles for the highest details, even with extreme undercuts. Even utilizing the 98mm holder still gives you a lot more capability and a lot more precision and accuracy than just the average positioning of the clamp on our other mills. The easiness of the snap mag. The snap mag on the Matron will hold 11 burrs. But because of its quickness and simplicity, you can swap magazines in almost no time. And then the performance on the 8 blank changer gives you a lot more capability than our Motion 2 and Motion 3. It's very effective and gives you pretty much a little bit of everything to allow you to do pretty much whatever type of production you're looking for. There are different holders for different materials. You can load, for titanium blanks, glass ceramic, anything in 98mm, whether it's zirconia, PMMA, temps, splints, wax, whatever it is. There is also one to do metal because the capability on the Matron is literally limitless. And you also have the C-clamp, and you can have a combination of just about all of the above or any of the above. The Matron is already built for the future. It already has the capability to hold a 40mm puck, which we don't have a 40mm puck yet, nor do we have a strategy for it. But when that comes in the future, the mechanism of the mill is already designed to hold that and is capable to hold that. The 21.5-inch screen allows you the ultimate flexibility to kind of operate multiple windows at the same time. With our other mills, the screen was either a 10-inch or a little smaller, which you have to kind of scroll through pages from one aspect to another. However, with the size of this screen on the Matron allows you to operate multiple things at the same time almost. And then, of course, the auto calibration is huge. This is about a 5-minute process. And you can, at an extreme ease and simplicity, calibrate the mill at any given time of your choice. There is nothing that the Matron is not capable of milling. Everything you see on this wheel is a process that you can put through the mill, from titanium bars all the way down. It was actually designed initially to mill titanium, and then everything else was designed around that. The change of position for the suction nozzle gave the Matron a lot more capability on keeping the mill cleaner in the milling process. So unlike the Madic, for example, the Madic has the self-cleaning capability. The Matron does not, but with this slight modification, it actually keeps the mill cleaner than most people realize. And this is just a quick glimpse on how that operates. And please forgive me, I was having a little difficulty with the audio. However, these videos, there is a couple of short videos I'll be running. There is just kind of music in the background, so it's really nothing to be concerned too much with. Like I said, the Matron was built to mill metal first, and therefore we gave it an 80,000 RPM spindle from Secotec. It's a phenomenal spindle with a lot of power behind it. What's also unique about the Matron versus our other mills is it's going to be the only one in our lineup that will have a 6mm shank and a 3mm shank. You can swap back and forth. It's not something we recommend for somebody to do. The machine out of the box is going to come with a 6mm, but for those that have our other mills and they want to, they're not trying to mill metal and they want to stick with a 3mm just to kind of keep the same lineup of burrs, that's possible. But also the 6mm is a phenomenal add-on, especially if you're trying to do metal. It gives it a lot more effectiveness and a lot more power. We consolidated the tools from the 3mm lineup we've had for years. Initially, it was 56 burrs for all indications. We consolidated that to 28 burrs to still do all indications. And I'm going to show you a very quick video here on the difference. This is trying to mill the same job, one on the Madic, one on the Matron. The one on the right is a 3mm burr. The one on the left in the Matron is a 6mm, and you could clearly see the difference in speed. You could mill a bar in the Matron in about 3.5, 4 hours, where if we want to take the exact same bar and mill in the Madic with the 3mm shank, you're looking at 7 to 9 hours. So that is significantly faster. Literally, the Matron eats through metal like butter. And then the Matron also has the cart to kind of house the pump, the suction unit, and the water tank or coolant tank. Also for all the accessories, which makes it nice and kind of keeps everything intact. This is the coolant tank and the pump. We decided to put the pump outside the machine for a lot easier maintenance if needed. And also we added a much more robust suction unit for the Matron to give it a lot more effectiveness as well. Now, just with a quick slide on the overall configuration of the Matron for anybody that is interested to know the size, the weight, the compressed air requirements, and all that. I have this slide here that can be passed if needed. That gives you basically all the specs that you need to see whether the Matron is a good fit for your space or for, compressed air requirement and all that. And this is just a quick video to show you the capability of the Matron. and it's about maybe a minute or so. These are the different burrs with the same RFID technology that we have on all our mills. The only mill that does not have the RFID technology is the Motion 2. However, everything else from a Motion 3 to the Madic to the DRS to the Matron, they all have that RFID technology, which kind of makes everything a lot easier to operate. And it definitely saves you a lot of time and a lot of cost. Part of the automation that we have is the machine will prompt you for all the maintenance that is required on the end user. It will tell you when, it will show you how, and it will give you step-by-step process on what each maintenance step needs to take place and how to maneuver with it. Now, to just give you also a brief idea on the Madic. The Madic is the biggest mill we got. It is really designed to save everybody time. It's not only for high production lab, a lot of or facilities, whether that's a lab or a clinical office. A lot of people see the Madic size and they get intimidated by that size and they feel like they have to have a lot of production to actually own one of those things. However, it's really designed to fit in a one-man lab, in a medium-sized lab, or in a high production lab or a clinical office for that matter. We've actually sold a lot of Madics to a lot of clinicians, and it just kind of helps basically save the process of having to maneuver with which material is which and what are they doing today or tomorrow or whatnot. They pretty much load their entire inventory and they let the system work itself. We say here it is a 10 axis. So in reality, the milling chamber has the 5 axis that everybody is familiar with. And then the blank tank right here, which holds 36 holders, that's also a 4 axis there. So that's 9 total. And then we have the tool magazine here that holds 28 burrs. That's a 1 axis. So that's where the 10 axis come from. So 5 on the milling chamber, 4 on the blank tank, and 1 on the tool magazine. And the entire bottom half of it, the cabinet underneath, is not literally a cabinet. It's basically what we call the clean stream. Again, this is where the blank tank is. It holds 36 different holders. They can be 36 different materials of your choice. And you can have as many of each type of holder as you see fit for your type of production. And it's a true beast. This is the tool magazine where you can load 28 different burrs. Everything is RFID chipped. Whether it's on the burrs and or whether it's on the holders as well. And this is a sectional view of how the side would look like. Basically, everything you process in the milling chamber, whether it's dry or wet, goes through either the suction unit through that back hose or back side system of it, or it goes through the wet cleaning process. And when we say the machine will clean itself by itself, I don't want this to be misunderstood that the end user would not be required to touch the machine at all. However, with that process, it will literally switch between wet and dry to wet by itself. It will clean in between jobs, but that does not mean the end user still does not have to do a little maintenance here and there, just like every other mill, maybe a little less, but that doesn't mean none. And now we're gonna jump on the Motion 3. The Motion 3 is literally the smartest mill in its class. It is the exact same footprint as the Motion 2. It's the exact same capability, the exact same speed. It just has a lot more automation than the Motion 2 for those of you who are familiar with the Motion 2. The Motion 3 is a phenomenal mill. And it has a lot of technology for its size. And if we look at this slide, it really does not compromise any of the accuracy or the detail that the mill is capable of. The only thing the Motion 3 cannot do is to mill a titanium bar out of a titanium puck. Everything else it is capable of doing, including titanium abutments on the single preformed blanks. It's a lot easier for me to tell you what it cannot do versus what it is capable of doing. And now to go one step lower from a Motion 3 to the Motion 2. The Motion 2, again, like I said, it's the exact same footprint as the Motion 3. They both have the same spindle, same capability, same speed, same everything, except the Motion 3 is more automated. It requires a little bit less babysitting. Especially as you're operating the mill. The Motion 2 has become really our cost-effective piece of equipment for somebody that wants a great mill at a low cost. That's where the Motion 2 come in play. However, for those that don't mind to pay the little extra money and have the peace of mind with the technology, with the automation when it comes to the RFID technology or the auto calibration, the Motion 2 does not have the auto calibration, and that's huge by itself, because if you need to calibrate the Motion 2, then you're going to need to have a help from either the trainer side or help desk side to help you calibrate the mill. With the Motion 3, it's literally a process of maybe 4 to 5 minute stops, and you can do that all day long on your own. These are basically the biggest differences between both mills. The Motion 2 does not have the RFID technology, like I said. The Motion 2 does not have the auto calibration. You have to manually calibrate it, meaning you have to mill a couple of cubes, measure them, and if they're off measurements, or if the measurements is off, then you have to reach out to somebody to actually log in and help tweak the mill for you. It does not have the camera for troubleshooting and does not have the touchscreen. We've always called our system the future-proof system because AG is very cautious. When we launch something new, we tend to not want to force the customer to go buy a whole new mill. We basically just add another holder. So each mill has a variety of different holders for different indications, for different capabilities. So pretty much if you buy a mill from the AG lineup, say today, and then 6 months down the road, we launch something new, you could either buy an existing holder for that new material, or if there is no holder for it, all we have to do is just launch a holder for that particular new whatever it is, and then you just have a small investment in a holder versus trying to buy a whole new mill altogether. And now the Motion DRS, it's our chairside unit. It's very small, but very effective. Even though it's a 4-axis mill, but it still does not compromise on the accuracy that we have always been known for. All our mills are 10 micron accurate, and that's ISO approved as well. It's not something we're just claiming. And our system is as open as anybody can have. As long as whatever it is you're trying to incorporate with it can spit out or accept an STL file, it should not be a problem to work with our system. Obviously, having an entire seamless workflow will give you a lot more peace of mind for the future, but that does not mean it is not capable of combining, other systems as well. The Motion DRS can accept scans from just about any intraoral scanner out there. Like I said, as long as that piece of equipment can spit out or accept or receive an STL file, it should work with our system without any issues. And again, on the intraoral scanners, we already discussed that. You can basically bring any scan from any intraoral scanner, whether it's an STL file or a PLY file, it should work just fine. The DRS has the RFID technology as well. It still has all the automation the other mills have. It has the auto calibration, and it has the camera for troubleshooting as well. And as far as its performance and accuracy, that is definitely something that is uncompromised in the mill. As small as it is, it still can put out great detail and a lot of accuracy behind it. The beauty about the DRS, it does not require any additional compressed air from an outside compressor. Everything is built in. It's basically literally plug and play out of the box. And the software that comes along with the DRS also has implant capability and other capabilities that are just getting added by the day. The software was simplified slightly to kind of just keep it quick and easy. It is possible to dig a little deeper if you choose to, but if you just want to run with just the simple workflow, it can be literally very quick and very simple for the beginners. And without compromising any of the accuracy or the detail that you would be expecting or looking for. With the glass ceramic, the same burrs, the same strategy, which is the speed lining strategy, works with the DRS just as well as all our other mills. And it is definitely capable of giving you something with that much details on a glass ceramic. That's honestly is huge. Most chairside mills are incapable of giving you that much details. When it comes to scanners, we don't have an intraoral scanner, but we do have a couple of benchtop scanners. The first one is the MAP 600 Plus. It is very unique in its own. It's one of the first scanners that is capable of accepting a fully adjustable articulator or any of the big articulators to scan the bite with the articulator in place without having to have any attachments or any special plates or rubber bands or any of that. The MAP 600 Plus is 4 micron accurate. It has a 3.2 megapixels camera, and it has the ultra high definition accuracy or capability on it. And like I said, you can put either the Artex line of all of their models or any other big articulator for that matter and scan your bite very easily, very efficiently, as you can see in this video. It's literally a few seconds and the bite is done. All you got to do is just place the scanner on the turntable and it will turn very slowly without tilting enough to where it makes the scanner fall. But also there is a very unique feature about that process. We have launched a while back. If you choose not to even scan your bite, the software is capable of finding that bite automatically as long as the bite you're trying to scan or the dentition you're trying to scan has enough teeth and has enough whatever sits on them. Most of the time it works flawlessly without even having the need to scan a bite. And in the event that it doesn't, you can literally with a click of a button, go back and scan the actual case on a scanner if need to. But for those type of cases that it does work on, it's very efficient, very quick, and it prevents you, or basically just skips the entire process of having to scan an articulator of any kind, whether it's big, small, or anything in between. Then we also have the Ceramil Map FX. This is the cheaper of the two. It's the smaller of the two. It's for somebody that is looking to have a great scanner, but at a more efficient cost. That's where the Map FX come in play. It still has the capability that you can scan a full arch, I'm sorry, a full articulator, whether it's fully adjustable or semi-adjustable of any kind, and not only the Artex line, but any other articulator for that matter. It is also 4 micron accurate. It is with the same camera as the Map 600, the 3.2 megapixels, and it's very, very quick, honestly, for its size. It does an amazing job. And for the FX, it's built around the Artex. And like I said, you could basically put any other scanner. The way the Artex is designed, you can actually tilt it to where the model is facing the camera. However, for any other scanner, you may have to put something underneath the articulator. I'm sorry, for any other articulator type, you may have to put something underneath the articulator, or just simply hold it by hand in front of the camera, and you can scan that bite if needed. To take a quick look on side by side between the Map FX and Map 600, the Map FX definitely has a much smaller footprint. It's much lighter in weight. It's not as sophisticated as the Map 600, but for those that are needing a great scanner at a much lower cost, that's where the Map FX come in play. And as far as ovens, we don't make porcelain ovens, but we make sintering ovens. We have 3 different options on the sintering ovens. The first one is the Therm 3. That's the largest of all, not only in size, but in capability. The Therm 3 is capable of sintering full arch hybrid cases, sintering a lot of volume. It comes with 1 centering bowl out of the box, but you can add 2 additional bowls, and you can have 3 stacked on top of each other, which would give you a capability to do about roughly 120 units in one shot. You could do multiple full arches at the same time. However, what the Therm 3 does not have is any speed cycles. So if you're looking for speed centering, this is definitely not the oven to have. Speed ovens, speed and volume don't go side by side. When you're trying to do volume, speed is going to be low. When you're trying to do something or center something in a fast manner, then the volume is going to be low. Not only that, but even the heating elements on this oven are not capable of taking speed cycles, but it can do a lot of volume for you. Then the next one we have is the Therm S. The Therm S is kind of in between. It has a lot less capability on the volume, but it does have a little bit faster cycles than the Therm 3. The fastest cycle you can do with this oven is about 2 hours. You can still definitely center overnight, but if you want to do anything fast, the fastest is 2 hours. It doesn't have anything faster than that. You could also stack a couple of trays on this one. It comes with 1 out of the box, and you can add another one. Each tray is capable of holding, maybe 2 or 3 3-unit bridges, maybe 5 to 7, 8 singles, just depending on their size and whatnot. So it doesn't have a whole lot of volume, but it doesn't, and it also does not have super fast cycles either. But it's a great oven for those that are kind of in the medium range type of volume and not doing any full arches. You cannot do typically full arch cases in this oven. And then the last of all is the Therm DRS. This is basically our Ferrari of sintering ovens. This oven is capable of going super fast, but again, we said already, speed and volume don't go side by side. So the volume on this oven is not going to be high. You can do maybe a couple of singles, one single for sure, two, maybe 1 3-unit bridge, nothing bigger than that, and nothing with higher volume than that. But you can center something depending on which type of zirconia also, because when you're fast centering, it's not only about the hardware or the equipment that you have, but also about the material. Is it designed to fast center or not? But in using the proper material, you could do a crown in about 20 minutes in this oven. 3-unit bridge probably in about an hour or so. 45 minutes to an hour, you could do a 3-unit bridge. This slide here gives you just a little bit better idea on timing. Like I said, this oven is the Ferrari of all, but it cannot do a lot of volume. Depending on the material, these times will also vary based on which materials, and all these here are the AG line. So if you're using somebody else's material, you just got to follow their centering parameters. And then finally, we have the Argotherm 2. This is a sintering oven. However, it's not designed to sinter zirconia. It is designed to sinter our Sintron material. Our Sintron is basically Cobalt Chrome material that is milled in the soft state. It's as soft, if not maybe softer than zirconia. So when you're milling it, you're not putting a lot of pressure or a lot of stress on the machine. But once it's milled, you have to center it. Once you center it in this oven, this is where the strength and the final result will take place. And it'll basically, you can treat the Sintron as a non-precious alloy or as a cobalt chrome material of whatever. And with the Argotherm 2, there comes the Argavent 2 kit. This is basically the new enhanced kit. We've had it for a few years, but this is the latest version or the latest generation on the sintering bowl and all the components that go inside the oven to sinter Sintron. The cycle is roughly about 5 or so hours. For those that are still using a lot of, maybe porcelain fused to metal crowns, utilizing non-precious, or you could also do, cobalt chrome bars out of it. There's still, the people that are using this process, they're either using a lot of it or none of it. But it's still out there. It still exists. And then when it comes to also model management, this is where a lot of people don't realize we also have all these components and those items. For example, the analog face bow is something we have had for years and years and years. We've been producing this product for at least 25, 30 years that I'm aware of. We've been educating on it, ever since day one. We also have, like I said earlier in the presentation, the Arctics line, which was born in '78 and has been evolving ever since. We have 5 different models of that, and there is, in a couple of minutes, I'll explain a little bit more on that. And then we also have the Gyroform, which is a device to fabricate models at their highest accuracy. It will allow you to actually section your models if you're still using that process, but without losing any of the accuracy on the mesial and distal or in the contact region. Then we also have our smart mix and our smart box. Those also have been around for many years. They also have evolved a little bit over the years. And then the newest one in this entire lineup is the Zebras. The Zebras is a conversation on its own. I'm really not going to dig deep into that today. The Zebras by itself is a good hour presentation by itself. However, what I can tell you about the Zebras is it's, to simplify it, it's a jaw motion recording device. Sometimes we call it the digital face bow, but that's really doesn't really justify all its capability. It's a lot more than that. But for now, for today, just to keep it simple, if we want to call it the digital Facebook, we can call it that. But I want you to know there is a lot more behind it than just that. And on the zebras, the main components is basically the head bow, which has 4 cameras on the bottom, and then you have the transmitter or the sensor that puts out or follows the jaw motion, and then the cameras capture the movement of the transmitter, and then it records all those movements, and it'll give you just in a basic setting, Bennett angle, condylar inclination, immediate side shift, left and right laterals, the opening the bike, all those you get them almost in less than 5 minutes, if that. The process itself is very quick. It's a lot faster and a lot more accurate than the analog Facebook, and it gives you a lot more info also than the analog Facebook. And now, if we want to talk about the Artix lineup, we have the entry level Artix BN, for those that just want an inexpensive, decent articulator. And then we also have the Artix CN and then the CT. Those 3 here, the BN, the CN, and the CT, those are the non-Archon versions. And then for those that want a little bit more capability or a little bit more sophistication, we have the CPR, which is the semi-adjustable, and then the cream of the crop, the one in the middle. That's the big beast of all of them, is the Artix CR, and that's literally, in my opinion, as a lab tech, knowing what I know about this articulator, knowing its capability and its accuracy, I think this is the best money can buy for somebody that is looking for a legit, capable articulator. This is as good as it comes. This is the Rolls Royce of articulator, in my opinion. And then we also have also our software is exocad based. There are the couple of slides I'm showing on the software. These are not the only modules we have, but these are the main modules we have. There is a handful of other ones that I did not feel like I need to present here, but it is a full-blown exocad version. The biggest difference between our Ceramil Mind and the original exocad is basically we tweak it just slightly so it will fit under our umbrella. It will fit under our ecosystem, to where everything talks to everything precisely and properly without having to jump loopholes and do anything manual. So the integration becomes as seamless as possible and as smooth as possible. So when it comes to software, we definitely have all the basic stuff, just like the original exocad. And like I said, I'm not presenting every single module here, but just the main ones. So the basic mind, you can do all a la carte, or you can buy a full bundle that has the entire suite of modules or all the modules combined. The virtual articulator, Mindform is basically the Knut Miller library. TrueSmile. Then you have the denture workflow, the partial workflow. Impasse is basically a module that is only needed for those that are interested in the zebras. The impasse basically just bridges the virtual articulator and the design software with the zebras to where the information is integrated automatically without having you to plug anything manually. And then we also have the implant, whether you're doing a single implant or multiple implants. The Gen stands for gingival, for those that are interested in doing full arch hybrid cases. Splints to do splints and night guards. And then bars, of course, microshell for provisionals. Smile for smile makeover cases. The Build for those who want to do the design models for printing. And then the ZRS is basically just a huge tooth library that you get. And the DICOM viewer allows you to view DICOM scans, but not necessarily that you can alter them or modify them in any shape, form, or fashion. And then on the CAM software, everybody that is familiar with our system pretty much knows how easy and simple and fast our regular Match 2, which is our CAM software, is. But for those that are interested in the mailbox because that's something they have used in the past or that's something they're familiar with, now we can actually add the AG mailbox version to those that are looking to get the mailbox versus our Match 2 CAM software. Now, the only thing I want to say about the mailbox, it is available now. It is capable of integrating that mailbox CAM software with our system. However, just a word of advice right now, it's only available for those that have a Motion 2 and a Motion 3. The Matron and the Madic have not been integrated just yet. That's something in the works. That's something that's going to be coming in the near future. But for today, it's only available for the Motion 2 and Motion 3. And if we look at side by side comparison between the Match 2 and the mailbox, obviously, like I said, our Match 2 is very quick, it's very easy, it's very simple. The mailbox is a little bit more sophisticated, and however, it gives you a little bit more for those that either familiar with it or looking to do a little bit more than what our basic Match 2 is capable of, which it has a lot of, our Match 2 has a lot of capability. I don't want that to sound as if it's not capable of doing much or big cases. With the basic Match 2, you can still do a lot, pretty much everything. However, in reality, Mailbox has a little bit more kick to it. But it also comes at a little bit steeper learning curve. And for those that are familiar with it, they don't want to go learn something new, then they can just integrate Mailbox with our system right now. And like I said, right now it's only available for Motion 2 and Motion 3, but the Matron and the Madic will be added in the near future. When it comes to printing, pretty much Amann Girrbach manufactures about 95% of what we sell. That last bit of items we sell could be branded to us. The printer is one of those. We don't actually manufacture our own printer. However, we have the NextDent 5100, which is made by NextDent, integrated into our system. The hardware, the printer itself is exactly the same printer, but the software that goes on this printer basically integrates everything into our design software or CAD software to where it basically becomes part of our software to keep that integration and to keep that seamlessness in the workflow and the simplicity. The NextDent also has the mixer as an accessory and as the also the curing box. And the pedestal here is an option item. It's a great option to keep it level and also to keep the mobility of it easier. But if somebody chooses to buy just the printer without the pedestal, that's also a possibility. As far as the different resins, basically we have the exact same resins as the NextDent for pretty much a lot of different indications, whether they're denture bases, temps, partials, castable materials, surgical guides, trians, all different indications. I'm not going to name all of them, but also what is new nowadays is that you could also use the NextDent official original bottle in our system, in our software without any issue. Early on, for those that buy the NextDent for Ceramil, they were obligated to buy our materials only. But now you could use either the AG material or the NextDent material. Either one should work just fine. And as far as zirconia, that's also one of our biggest items aside from milling machines. We are very proud of the zirconia that we have. It's a premium product, definitely, at a very cost-effective level. We have basically 5 different types of zirconia: the ZI, the FX Multilayer, the HT Plus family, the Bion, and then the Solid DRS. I'm going to highlight basically a few of the main ones. We don't have time to go through every single one with a lot of different specs and details, but I'll give you just a brief idea on the main ones. The zirconia conversation could also be a presentation on its own, maybe hour and a half easily, just to talk about those products right here in this one slide. But I'm just going to give you a glimpse of a little bit of the main ones right now. So we're going to start with the FX Multilayer. The FX Multilayer, obviously, from its name, it is a multi-layer product. What's unique about our multi-layer line, whether it's in the FX, Gen X, or Bion, or even the RS, it's not manufactured as the standard multi-layer products in the market. It doesn't have any defined layers of color internally. Therefore, the transition is a lot smoother than most, or than the rest of competitors. What's also unique about the FX Multilayer, specifically in our line, it is a line that has 2 different shades in one puck. Depending on where you nest the crown is what shade you end up with. So for example, the A2 and A3 come in one puck. If you nest the crown high up in the puck, you're going to hit the A2. If you nest it lower in the puck, you're going to hit the A3. Everything in between is just a smooth transition. So therefore, with this line, you can buy 10 pucks and not only hit all 16 shades on the Vita shade guide, but also add couple bleaches. This line also comes in blocks for those that want to mill blocks out of it or have the capability to mill blocks only. It does come in blocks. This is a 700 megapascals. It's kind of compatible to Emax, if we want to say that. 700 megapascals means you can do single units up to 3-unit bridges, nothing bigger than that. But it has a super high translucency on it. And also there is a pattern on how it's manufactured with the no defined color internally. And so does the rest of the multi-layer line that we have. The next one I want to highlight is the Gen X. For those that are looking to get a really nice multi-layer product, but also looking to do bigger cases, more sophisticated cases, Gen X is basically you can do a roundhouse with it, molar to molar, or a single unit, or anything in between. It is also multi-layer. Gen X is 1000 megapascals, and it is manufactured the same way as the FX Multilayer. However, it is 1 shade per puck. So you have 16 shades, for example, on the Vita shade guide, that's 16 pucks. It's just a gradient multilayer. Then we have our newest and greatest is the Bion. Bion is basically a little bit more unique than the rest of the lines. Bion is similar to Gen X, where it is 1100 megapascals. You can do single units, you can do full arch cases, or anything in between. Because of the way it's manufactured, it gives you the illusion that it is a little bit more translucent than it actually is. Bion is a 4Y. Gen X is a 4Y, and the FX Multilayer is a 5Y, just for those that are looking for that piece of information. What is unique about Bion is it is also designed to speed center. So, for example, if you have our Therm DRS, which is the speed centering oven, if you mill a Bion, a crown out of Bion, you can center that crown in about 45 minutes. A 3-unit bridge would center in about an hour, but you could also use the long centering cycles or the overnight centering cycles. Also, Bion was tested on speed centering full arch hybrid cases, not necessarily in our oven because our oven doesn't have that capability. However, just for testing purposes, the Bion, we milled a full arch hybrid case out of it, and we were able to center a full arch hybrid case in about 3.5 or 3 hours and 45 minutes, really. That is really phenomenal for those type of cases. And for those of you that are doing those full arch cases, you pretty much know exactly the amount of time it takes to center those type of cases. So it's a lot, typically it's a lot more lengthy than 3 hours and 45 minutes. But that's where Bion stands out from the rest. It's basically when we launched Bion, we started to say, if there is one zirconia that is one and for all, it is that. You can do a simple something as simple as a molar out of it, and you can do something as sophisticated as a full arch hybrid case with all kind of cutbacks. Bion also is one material that will or does come in 30 millimeter pucks. For those that are looking for those thicker pucks for big cases, this is the material to go with. Ever since we launched it, it has gained a huge popularity and has been pretty much a go-to for many end users out there. Bion is 1100 megapascals. All our zirconias will center under one parameters or set of parameters at 1450 degrees max. The Bion is a little different because it's a little unique. Bion will max out at 1500, so it's about 50 degrees higher than the rest of our zirconias. And finally, the solid DRS, which comes in blocks only, no pucks on this material. For those that are looking to do a single out of this block, you can literally center that in about 20 minutes. A 3-unit bridge would take about 45 minutes to an hour. You know, it is also multi-layer. It is very similar to the Genex to some extent, but it is designed to center a little faster. It is different than Bion because it does not come in pucks. It only comes in blocks. This is a type of material that is very common, obviously, for those that get the DRS. And then on the Cobalt Chrome side, we have a couple of options. Like I said, we have the Matron here on the left, which is milled in the green state. This is the type of material that you will need to use the Orgatherm oven to center. Or if you have the Matron or the Madic, those are the only two mills that are capable of milling the centered Cobalt Chrome pucks like this, which is basically the metal milling. With those two mills, you can take a puck like this and just mill your Cobalt Chrome and be done with it right there and then. And that's where the Matron actually stands out from all the rest. Also on the titanium side, we have a couple of options. You can definitely mill the titanium pucks of all sort, and you know, for bars or whatever other indications. But we also have the titanium preformed blanks. Those you can pretty much mill in every single mill we produce except the DRS. The DRS is the only mill that is not capable of milling those titanium blanks. However, Motion 2, Motion 3, Madic, or Matron can actually mill those no problem. And that's pretty much it. I hope that is or has been informative for you guys. I am open to any questions. If any of you guys have any questions, please hit me up. And Fran, I'm sending it back to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I have a couple more polls for our audience, but I just wanted you to know like what's coming up on Zahn Academy. So this Tuesday, October 29th, we have our end of year planning for purchasing lab equipment, and that's with talking about financial programs available to you and some tax advantages through Section 179. So all will be explained on Tuesday. Then on Wednesday, October 30th, we have Clash of the Cams with Dan Morano and Danis CDT. And this will be featuring Millbox and Hyperdin. And why can't both win? He'll talk about why he basically uses both in his laboratory. On November 6th, we'll be talking about full arch hybrids, planning cases, and material options with Dimitri Tasilis, who is an MDT. And that will be again on November 6th. November 13th, we'll be talking about denture conversions one-on-one with Dan Thornton, CDT. So that should be a really good one. If you're looking to do denture conversions and never have, now's the time to join us on November 13th. And on November 15th, we have our Houston Roadshow and Expo. It's like a mini trade show along with great learning opportunities on design, whether it be designing all on X, designing dentures in 3-shape. So there's a lot to know and a lot to do with us November 15th in Houston. You can go to Zahn Academy and go to the education tab. Click on that and it'll take you right over to the calendar where you can register for all of these programs. They are ready to go and ready for you to register. I want to just thank everybody here for joining us on Zahn Academy, especially Mo. Your presentation was excellent. And please let us know if you have any questions. You can definitely get in touch with me by my email or my direct cell. And if you do have any questions for Mo that you think about, maybe tonight, email them to me. I'll get them over to him and I'll get the answers over to you. So again, thank you so much for joining us here on Zahn Academy. And I look forward to seeing you next week. Mo, have a great day. And thank you again to you and Amann Girrbach.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And I hope everybody has a great rest of the day.
Have a great day, everyone. Thank you again.
Bye-bye.